Hi, welcome to Code.io. This is day 14 of 100 days of code, and the question for today is called minimum product of two numbers. Maximum product of two numbers. Maximum product of two numbers. Okay, so given an array ARR of size n with all elements greater than or equal to 0. So we are given an array and all numbers are positive numbers, right? And you are supposed to return the maximum possible product of any two numbers in this array, right? So you can form all possible products with two numbers in this array and you are supposed to return the maximum out of it. And we are given that all these numbers are just positive numbers, right? So a simpler approach would be finding two large elements, and obviously their product would be the largest one, right? Because obviously it's multiplication, right? Two large numbers multiplied together will produce a larger number, right? So you are supposed to find two large elements in this array, and we are just supposed to return the product of it. Okay, so in this particular array the size of n is 6 and the array elements are 1, 4, 3, 6, 7 and 0. So the elements that are to be considered are 6 and 7 because they are the maximum and the second maximum element in this array, right? So this is the key thing that you are going to find out. You are going to traverse through this array and you are going to find the maximum element and the second maximum element, and once you have done that you can just return the product of these numbers. So that is the idea. So we'll now see how exactly we are going to solve this question. Let me just move this question away and we'll just proceed with the test case. Okay, fine. So we are just going to create a couple of variables, one being max, okay, max, and another one called smax, meaning second maximum. Okay, initially we will assign -1 to both these variables. Okay, we are going to assign -1 to both these variables initially. All the elements in the array are definitely greater than 0, right? So none of them can be -1 and hence they'll definitely override this -1, okay, if at all something is present which is greater. So maximum and second maximum, we have these two variables and you are going to iterate through the given array. Okay, so we are going to start from the first element. So here is the procedure. You are going to traverse through this array and you are going to see if your current element, which is which is 1 at this point, is greater than maximum. So this is the condition. ARR is the array, and you are going to see if ARR of I is greater than max, right? This is the first thing you are going to check. So we are currently at index 0 and the value at index 0 is 1, right? And you are going to see if it is greater than max. It is actually greater than max. So before just going ahead and changing the max value to ARR of I, you are just going to first take a copy of max at second max and then change it. Okay, you will understand why we are doing this in the second or third index when we come to that, but just for now keep this in mind, right? So you are going to take a copy of max in second max. In this case both are -1, so it doesn't matter, but we are going to take a copy and we are just going to update max value to its current maximum value. Okay, fine. So this is what we are going to do. Now we can move on to the next element in this array, which is 4, right? Now we are going to see if 4 is greater than max. Is 4 greater than max? 4 is obviously greater than 1. So first you will have to take a copy of max's value in second max, right? Now the second max value has become 1 and now you can update max value to 4, right? So this is the procedure. Now we'll move on to the next element, and this is very interesting case, right? Be careful and watch it very clearly. Now we are at the value 3. Okay, so 3 actually is not greater than max, right? Max's current value is 4, so 3 is not greater than 4, but 3 is greater than second max, which is 1. So when something like when your current value is not greater than maximum value, you'll have to check if it is greater than the second maximum value. Okay, so you are going to see if 3 is greater than 1, which is the second maximum value, right? And it actually is greater than 1. So you are just going to update the second max's value to 3. Okay, so whenever max gets updated, second max obviously gets updated. And even when max is not getting updated, you have to check if your current element is greater than second max, and if it is greater than the second max, you will have to update the second max value. Okay, so this is the thing that you are going to follow, right? So we are doing this. Now we can move to the next element, and that is 6, right? So we are currently at 6, and you are going to see if your current element, which is 6, is greater than max. It is greater than max, so you are going to take a copy of max in second max. So second max value becomes 4, and you are going to update max's value to 6, right? Similarly, you will move through the array and swap the values from max to second max and change the or update the value of max, right? So at the end of this, you will have 7 in max's value, right? If you just proceed with one more iteration, you will end up with this. You will have max value as 7, and you will have second max value as 6, right? And you are just supposed to return 7 times 6. Okay, that is what you are going to return. 7 times 5 is 35, 7 times 6 is 42, right? So you are just going to return 42, and that is the answer for this particular input. Okay, so hope you got this logic. It's quite simple. You are just going to find the maximum and the second maximum value in the array, and this point is very important. If a current element is not greater than maximum, you have to check if it is greater than second maximum. Okay, so after doing this, you can just return the product of maximum and second maximum, and that is it. Okay, so now we'll move on to Geeks for Geeks and try to code this and see if it works. So we are in Geeks for Geeks here. I will leave the link to this question in description. You can solve this after watching this video. So you are supposed to complete this max product function, and it is asking an integer as a return value. Okay, and we are given the array ARR and its size n. Okay, so now as we already saw, you are just going to create a couple of variables, one being max, which is initialized to -1, and another one being second max, okay, which also is going to be initialized to -1. Now we are going to traverse through this array, okay, and I'm just going to use a for loop for that. So for int I equals 0, I less than n, and I plus plus, right? Now we are going to traverse through this loop, and you are going to see if your current value is greater than maximum value. So if ARR of I is greater than max, if it is greater than max, you are going to update the current maximum value to second maximum value and change the maximum value to array of I, right? So smax equals max and max equals ARR of I, and the order is really important. You have to first take a copy of your maximum value in second max, and only then you can update your current value of max, right? If you don't do it in this order, you'll have lost your previous value of max. Okay, so you have to do this in order. So you have to first change your second max value and then to your maximum value. Okay, so you are doing this. Now if your current value is not greater than max value, in that case you are going to check if it is greater than second maximum value. So if ARR of I is greater than second max, S max, if that is the case, you have to assign second max to ARR of I. Okay, so this is it, and at the end of this loop you would have got the values of maximum and second maximum value, and you can just say return max star S max. Okay, this is it. Now we'll try to run this and see if it works. Okay, so all test cases have been passed. I hope you understood this logic. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll get back to you. And if you have solved this, post this on LinkedIn and tag me and I'll come to see it. Okay, so if you have I already told you if you have any questions. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you on day 15 of 100 Days of Code. Bye for now.